Hey everyone, welcome back to Zero to Cloud. And today is day one of our cloud learning series. And today we are starting with very core of Google Cloud, that is compute engine, or you can simply say that virtual machine. Now, before we jump in and start creating one, let's understand why compute engine is so important because this is the foundation of almost everything you build in Google Cloud. All right, let's say you want to run a website or an application. So, traditionally, you have to buy a physical computer or server, right? You will install operating system onto it, then software, connect it to the internet, and you have to maintain it manually. But with Google Cloud, you don't have to buy or manage that hardware. Google gives you a virtual machine, which is basically a computer running inside Google's massive data center. So you can choose like how powerful CPUs, and RAM you want, what operating system you want in your virtual machine, where it should be running, the region, zone, you can decide. So it's just like renting a computer that's always on, scalable, and you pay only for what you use. So when you hear compute engine, just think your personal computer running inside Google's cloud. That's it. Nothing scary, nothing complicated. And now let's actually create one step by step. So I've already logged into the Google Cloud Console, as you can see it. So now we'll try to create a very basic VM. So you need to click on this navigation menu, and these are the products which are available on Google Cloud. So we'll be working on Compute Engine. So just click on Compute Engine. See, okay, it's open. So you click on Create Instance tab. Okay. So we need to fill out this detail. Let's say the name of the VM should be UI first VM. In region, you can see there are multiple options available. I'll keep this as default. In zone, you can see there are like 4 options. I'll keep this as well as default. Okay, this is the main part which actually based on this decide like what is your actual cost of the machine. So I can give you a quick demo of this. Let's say as this is currently selected at E2 and the monthly expenses are showing $25.46. So let's say if we click on C4, so this is the highest performance CPU, highest performance configuration available. So as soon as you clicked on that, our charges has been from $25. It's now $72. So for our case, like we have to build very basic VM. So we'll just use the E2 one, low cost day-to-day computing. And in machine tab, you can select, and then you have another option. You can decide among these three: E2 medium, E2 micro, E2 small. And these are the configuration. Like E2 medium has 1 to 2 vCPUs, one shared core, 4 GB memory. So let's keep as E2 medium. Okay, so this is done. Now in OS storage, so the current VM it has Debian Linux 12. If you want to change that, you can click on change option, and you can decide if you want to use different operating systems. So we have every options here: Windows Server, CentOS, and all those options available. You can decide which version you want. Boot disk, standard SSD, extreme persistent disk, or balanced persistent disk, and size of the VM. So we'll keep that as it is. Okay, in firewall will allow HTTP traffic. I'll tell you this at the end, like why I have enabled this, and all the other options will keep it as it is for now because we are learning about basic VM. We will be learning about all these options in the later videos. So we'll click on create. So it usually takes 1 or 2 minutes to start your VM. So maybe I'll skip this video, and once the VM is loaded, I'll come back to that section. Okay, now you can see that our VM has started. So name of the VM is my first VM. This is in US Central 1C region zone, and this is the internal IP and the external IP. That is also a public IP. So now we'll try to log in into our server. So how we can do that? You just need to click on SSH. Okay, you can see that we are successfully logged into our server. So yeah, this was very easy to create the instance and to log in into that instance. Now we'll just build a very basic web server using Nginx. So there are only a couple of commands you can use to do that. So I'll show you how we can do that. So first we need to update our server. So how you can do that? You need to use the command sudo. Sudo is for running as a super user, and then apt update, and then click enter. So yeah, this updated our server. Next thing, we'll install the Nginx server to it. So how we can do that? The command for that is sudo apt install Nginx, and then click enter. Okay, so it's asking after this operation, this KB over digital disk space will be used. I'll say yes. Just write Y and enter. Okay, so as you can see that this has been completed. Now we can see the basic web page of Nginx. So how we can do that? So use your public IP. Use your public IP, and then type HTTP. Click enter. Click on continue to site. Okay, you can see that. Welcome to Nginx page. If you see this, the Nginx web server is successfully installed and working. Further configuration is going. So as you can see that it was very easy to install Nginx web server. So that's how simple it is, from nothing to a running VM in just a few minutes. Completed this lab, like we have deployed a VM and also made it as a web server where we have deployed a basic Nginx web server. Now I'll explain you what is persistent disk and why it is needed. Now we'll attach a persistent disk to it. So how we can do that? So you need to click on your VM. So there are two steps to do that. Either you can also click on disk option and go ahead and create the disk. And there's another option which we are currently doing, guys. Click on VM, click on edit. Scroll it down, and here you can see there are two options available. One, add a new disk, or attach existing disk. So we don't have any existing disk available, as you can see that. We don't have any disk available in this particular zone. So we are going to create new disk. Okay, so my first. Okay. And then there are other options. You can fill out what type of disk you want, balance persistent disk or SSD you want. Let's say we click on SSD, size, let's say we say 50 GB we need, and then click on save. And once, yeah, you can see that in the additional disk tab, new disk, my first disk and all the other details are here. We can click on save. So it is going to take a minute. Okay, this is completed. Now you can see that in the storage part, my first disk size 50 GB SSD has been attached to my VM. So that's all we had in our learning session for today.